For this week's Monday with the Mayor, we've come to Huntingburg to see Denny Spinner.
Good evening. How are you tonight?
I can't complain too much. We're actually right in front of this about Huntingburg's projects, and we're going to talk about Huntingburg's projects. First, we'll go Railroad Overpass.
Okay. Well, as the most significant thing, I guess, in the last since our last report was last Thursday, we had the first public hearing on the proposed Skyline Drive Overpass project. This was the start of the public comment period during which the engineering firm that is doing the work, DLZ, and the Indiana Department of Transportation, which is helping us fund the project, opened the public comment period. We had a public meeting on it at the Event Center on Thursday evening, had very good turnout. The details of the project, or as proposed, were revealed at that time, plans. And one of the things that is very important for everyone to understand, that this is the preliminary plans for the project, and that this public comment period is exactly what needs to happen so that we can come up with a project that meets the needs of the community as best can be seen. So at the meeting on Thursday, they gave a little bit of a timeline. Actually, this process started as in September of 2015 is when we actually started the actual process. The project will be the comment period will go from now until October 30th. There were speakers at the event on Thursday night that voiced some concerns and are part of the public record. They were not given answers to those concerns because that's part of the process. But what we heard was that the primary concern came from those folks that are in our industrial park, the businesses that have been part of the industrial park at the north end of Skyline Drive. And they voiced concern over the access that they've had going south on Skyline Drive all the way to State Road 64. And that was a very legitimate concern that needed to be heard, and a concern that we need to address as to maintain that traffic in that area. It's a very vital part of our business base here in Huntingburg. So what I was really impressed with was not only the fact that the businesses concerned that came and voiced their opinion. They not only came with questions, but they also came with some possible solutions, which is always a great thing. The consensus among those businesses they are for the overpass project, but they have concerns about that ingress and egress from the industrial park. So those comments were heard. There was great discussion after the formal part of the hearing on how some of those options could be looked at, and I will, we will be in discussion with the firms that are doing the engineering study with INDOT to find a solution that is suitable for all the folks involved. But again, the public comment period is continuing. You have until October 31st to submit in writing your comments, your questions about the project. The information of where to send that is available in our public advertisements for that. But if anybody has questions about where to send their comments, they can contact us here at City Hall, and we'd be glad to give you that address. They can be mailed, they can be emailed, they can be faxed, so we'll have all that information for you. A little bit of timeline on what we're looking at. Should we go ahead from this time, according to the INDOT's time schedule, it would be a bid letting sometime in 2016. Late 2016 when the project would go to bid. Construction would start in the spring of 2017. And it should be complete in sometime in 2018. It's 0.83 miles of construction, a 225-foot span over the railroad and on 12th Street, and so it's quite a project. And again, all those concerns that were raised at our previous meeting will be addressed as part of the final report, and all those will be evaluated before a final design is put in place. So it was good to see the process continue to move forward. It's a long project to get done, but we want to make sure we're following all the steps and get it done in the right way. So very positive, good questions, and I see that we're going to address those and move on to a project that is going to be a long-term benefit for the city of Huntingburg for years and years to come.
And of course, this changes the skyline of the city in some senses. So how satisfied were you overall with what you saw with the plans?
Well, I think that it's the thing that is good about the plan that is very positive about it is it does have the minimal impact on homeowners, landowners in the area to build a new stretch of road that's nearly a mile long and have a minimal amount of impact on property is a big plus. There were 4 alternatives that were placed in the initial study, and this alternative was the one seen by NDOT and the engineering firms as the most feasible. And I think that what we saw is a very feasible project with a minimal impact on property in our community, and still have the desired result of making this project. And the number one concern going into this project is public safety. That's why it's being discussed at all, because of the number of trains that come through town on a regular basis, the fact that emergency services in the community are located on the north side. Memorial Hospital, for example, in Jasper is our primary care for a lot of our folks in Huntingburg. The urgent care is also on the north side, and providing a safe way to get, an efficient way to get from the south to the north, to provide that emergency traffic an opportunity to cross the tracks is the primary push behind this. But then there's a lot of benefits beyond. So I think that we're still finding the best way to solve this issue. This is a good corridor. This is a well thought out plan, and I look forward to seeing the comments at the end of the period and then moving on with the next phase of design.
And the underrated benefit, of course, aside from keeping people away from trains, probably reduce traffic on 231 as well.
It will do it will reduce traffic on 231 during those times when there is, the crossing is closed, and keeping that traffic flowing is very important. Another aspect of this that goes along with some of our other stellar projects is there is in the design a pedestrian element along with it. So there would be a walking and biking trail that also crosses the railroad track. And for those of our folks that live on the north side, most of our park facilities are on the south side. So that gives them a walking and biking opportunity to go from their neighborhood to the south side and connect directly to Niehaus Park, and then open it up to the rest of our downtown and on down to League Stadium. So there's a lot of great elements of this project, and we're looking forward to next steps and seeing what the final design might look like.
Kind of lost track now. What are we on, about the third project that's making significant progress now?
Well, the project that was very key to part of this as well is almost complete, and that's the extension of 9th Street, connecting it to Monkhouse Drive. That's in that same area, and that project was necessary in order for as the Overpass project goes into construction, it completes an area that allows traffic to continue to flow through the industrial park during the proposed construction period. So that was a very important project that is near completion, should be done in the next couple of weeks. So that's stellar project, really number one, that will have a complete date, and that we're looking forward to opening that up and creating some new traffic flow in and out of the industrial park there.
All right. Well, thank you again, Mayor.
Thank you, and have a good evening.
That's been Monday with the Mayor for this week. We'll be back with weather after this.